morning, guys, and welcome to our body measurement class. If I'm allowed to use that word. So pardon my face, is a bit puffy. I'm tired. I've been overworked. So I'm trying to do this because I actually promised that I was going to do it. So basically, when you want to take your measurements, you make sure that your client is whatever your client is wearing is as closely fitted to the body as possible. That is, if the person is putting on a jacket, you might have to take the jacket off. Hopefully the person will be wearing a camisole underneath. So if the person is wearing jeans, you know that jeans gives you extra bulk. So if the person is wearing a pair of jeans, you have to make sure that the pockets are empty. Not only that, if the person is wearing a pair of pants, you have to make sure that the pockets are empty. If it is jeans, it has to be as closely fitted to the body as possible. Your measurements should be as closely fitted to your body as possible. Your taper should just go round. You shouldn't press on any part of the body. You should just go round. So if you are going to be taking a skirt measurement, for example, the measurements you're going to need are your waist measurement. That is your true waist. You know, that part of your body where your waist tapers in here. That's your true waist. That's your true waist measurement. Sorry, I mean for the blouse rather, not for the skirt. So if you are taking a skirt measurement, the measurements that you need basically are your waist, your length, your hip height. Call it hip height. That's the distance between your waist and your hip. Then if it's going to be a mermaid skirt, like your 6 pieces, your 4 pieces and 8 pieces, you take from your waist to just above your knee, never on your knee, because if it is on your knee, it hinders movement, and you know you want it to be flattering. So you go from your waist to above your knee. So if you're going to take a skirt measurement, the first thing I would do is I would tell you to you ask the person that you're measuring where she puts her skirt. That is very, very important. You know, people put their skirts in different places. If the person has flat abs, when the person doesn't have big tummy like we have here, the person would most likely put it on the true waistline. But if the person is a bit thick around the waistline like me, I usually like to put my skirt on my navel. So you ask where the person is putting her skirt, where her skirt rests when she wears it, and then you measure round. So you measure round like this. Notice that I did not put any allowance. When you take a measurement, you don't put any allowance on the measurement. You don't put the allowance. It is when you draft, it's after drafting your pattern that you put every allowance that you need to put. So this is the waist. I would use this as a waist. Because this form has a good figure. So this would be my waist, and the waist is 29. You see the way it rests round the waist. It doesn't pull the body together. So you shouldn't pull the body together. So that's the waist. Then for the hip. Thankfully, this one has a hip. It's a pronounced hip. So just like that. It will rest on the highest part of your lower body, which is round the person's bum area. Make sure that it is resting on the bum. It should not rest above the bum, and it should not rest below the bum. It should rest on the bum. So you go round like that, and then this is 38. So from that, my waist down to here, that gives me 9. So that should give me my hip height, the height of your hip. That is from your waistline to your hip line. So, and then from your waist down to wherever your desired length. If it is your knee, wherever, if you are doing a short skirt, it could be on your knee or above the knee. But if you are doing a long skirt, then the chapeau should go all the way down. And then this is it. For long skirts, the beauty of a long skirt is that it actually touches the ground. And when you want to take a long skirt measurement, you have to put the height of your shoes into consideration. So usually what I do is, if I'm going to take a long skirt measurement, I tell the client to tiptoe to the height of her shoes. So once she tiptoes like that, you take your measurement, and then it drops to the floor. Now you have taken the length, the height of the shoes, the height of the heel of the shoes into consideration, which is very, very important. So now we've taken the skirt measurements. I hope that's clear, but if you have any questions, you can just ask when the video is done. So now we want to take our bodice measurements. That's for the upper part. So the measurements you're going to need are your length, your bust point, your bust span or your nipple to nipple, your waist, that's your true waist measurement, your waist, you take your shoulder or across back like some people call it, then you take your back length measurements, you do your under bust, then if this had sleeves, and then we do sleeve. When you take your sleeve measurements, your hand should be at akimbo this way. So you go this way down. Why? Because of your elbow. Your elbow needs room to move. If you take it straight down like that, once you finish, your shoulder will be short because your sleeve will be short because of your shoulder. So your shoulder needs room for movement. So if you're going to take your sleeve measurement, your long sleeve, you go this way. Usually when I draft my sleeve patterns, I usually do the full length of the sleeve, and then whatever length of sleeve and I want to make per time, I take it out of that, so that I have reduced my stress to the barest minimum. So let's see how we take this measurement. So from the side of your neck, always take your measurements, always take your vertical measurements from the side of your neck. That is the highest point. Never do it from here. If you do it from here, you are going to be losing hair. You will lose the few inches that you're supposed to add from here. So you take from the side of your neck over across the bust all the way down. It has to move over across your bust. Why? Because once you wear your dress, it will lift when you wear your dress, your bust lifts the outfit up. So you have to take your measurements across the bust. So if we're starting from our leg, depending on how you want to draft your pattern, if it's a full block you want to draft, or you want to do the half one up to your waist, whichever one you want to do. But usually you could just, if you want to draft everything, you could just take the full measurement, take this, and then when you draft, just take this half of it off. If you want to do a dress that has a break in between, and then you add the skirt to it. So from the side of your neck across the bust all the way down. So this is 25. No pulling. It just glides down. No pulling. So you have your length as 25. Then for your bust point, from the same point, from the side of your neck down to your nipple, this will give you 10. I usually say if you're a lady taking a lady's measurement, you don't have a problem with this. But if you're a guy, you have to be extra careful so that nobody sees you for sexual harassment. So you go like that, and you don't even have to touch. Once you place your tape on it, it rests like that, beautifully on the nipple. So that should be 9.5. That's for your shoulder. That's for your bust point, from the side of your neck down to your nipple. Then for your bust span or your nipple to nipple, from that point, your nipple, there, it rests on the nipple. If you are a guy and you need to take that measurement, just place and make sure that you're not touching. Make sure that you're not touching. If you're a lady too, you should make sure you're not touching, because if you're a lady, you already know the point of your nipple on your body. So you take it from here down to here. That's for your bust span. Then for your under bust, you go like that. That is where the bra, the end of your bra sits. So that's your under bust. The under bust of this one will be somewhere here. This is not pronounced because it's not a human being, so it's not pronounced. So I will do 13. Then the waist. This form has a clearly defined waist, but if it's for somebody who doesn't have a clearly defined waist, all you just do is to tell the person to just bend over. That point at which your body tips over here. That's your true waistline. That is the waistline you need for your blouse, for your dresses. Yes, that's the waistline that you need for your blouse and your dresses. So you measure from the same point, the side of your neck, down to this line. That's 16. We've measured our waist, right? Okay, so on the same point, we measure the waist, which is 29. But you will notice one thing, that the waist for your skirt and the waist for your blouse are usually not the same. That is if you don't put your skirt on the same place. And that's if your skirt is not on your true waistline. Even if your skirt is on your true waistline, of course you know that your skirt has to be a snug fit. When I say a snug fit, I mean that it should hold, it should grip your waist. It should not be tight, but it should grip your waist so that when you move, it does not roll round. So that point, it is 29. Then our shoulder. From that your shoulder bone, you would feel the bone from that bone down over across here to the other edge here. So that's your shoulder across like that, your shoulder. And then from the side of your neck all the way down to the same level that you had as your waistline. That's this for me. This is what I measure as my back length. Some people measure it from the nape of the neck here, from that bone here. But I usually prefer to take it from this side, since I took my front from that side. So I take it from this side all the way down here. Usually, it's not the same thing. Why? Because of the bust. It's not the same thing because of the bust. So you go across. If this is 17 here, this will most likely be 16. So that 1 inch difference will mark your side dart for the front. When we are drafting, we put that into consideration. So that 1 inch difference between the two marks your side dart. Then your chest, that will be from this line here down to this line, from here to here. So that if you want to make like an off-shoulder blouse, that will be how wide this place will be. So your chest. This one is a bit wide because I mean this is not the female look, but you know that it is from the side here, from just under your armpit here to this other side. So that's your chest. What other measurements are we taking? Bust. We've taken the bust. We've taken the bust, so it goes across like that. Some people measure the neck. I usually don't measure the neckline. I usually don't measure this. What I do is just to divide my waist by 10, and that gives me my neckline. I usually don't measure the neckline. So that's basically all. That's basically all for taking your measurements. I hope this was helpful. Thank you.